Hello everyone, myself Ishita Jagtap. Welcome to the 7 Qs, the interview series of ISRO Bhopal. Here we have with us today esteemed Professor Anand Ranganathan from Jawaharlal Nehru University. His laboratory has invented codon shuffling, a novel method for the directed evolution of proteins, and has made significant contributions in the field of tuberculosis and malarial research. His scientific breakthroughs have been published in top journals like Nature Communications, the Journal of Biological Chemistry, the Journal of Infectious Diseases, and many others. He is also a consulting editor of Swarajya magazine. Beyond his academic pursuits, Professor Ranganathan actively engages in discussions spanning politics, media, and science through television debates and columns in publications such as Swarajya, DNA, NL, First Post, and Quartz. Sir, it is an honor to have you here at ISRO Bhopal.
Thank you very much.
So, your visit here has created a lot of excitement among students and as well as the faculty members. So, is it your first visit here? And could you please share your thoughts on the campus of ISRO Bhopal?
First of all, thank you very much, Ishita, for having me here. Yes, it is my first visit, and hopefully it won't be the last. I am simply blown away by the magnificent campus that you have, the facilities that you have, and as I said during my talk as well, if not the one of the, it is certainly the best campuses and working environment for science and other stuff in the country, if not the world. So thank you very much. Thank you.
One of the key focus of your research has been Mycobacterium tuberculosis and TB therapy. So TB has been a challenge to India. When do you think we will be able to eradicate it from India and the world?
I would say another 20 years, even though the deadline for eradication is next year, 2025. The reason for that is multifold, and as Professor Govardhan Das, your director, he has been involved in TB research. He's made profound discoveries, ground-changing discoveries. For example, that TBs held mesenchymal stem cells in bone marrow, hide there and come out. So he is the best person to answer that. But if I can in my own limited way answer that, I think we traditionally, our problem is that we think we are cleverer than bacteria. Let's be very honest about it. Let's be very blunt. We think we are cleverer than HIV. अरे छोटा virus है, अरे छोटा bacteria है. We don't seem to realize that they have survived billions of years. We have been here for 30, 40, 50,000 years, you know. They are the ones that reproduce within a day in E. coli 20 minutes. They are the ones who accumulate mutations within the span of 5 years and are able to combat that mutation. So within a span of 7 or 8 years after rifampicin came out as a drug against TB, there were resistant strains of tuberculosis. All it did was they changed one amino acid on the cusp of the active site of beta subunit of RNA polymerase, and the drug was rendered inactive. And right now there are strains that are called TDR, totally drug resistant tuberculosis, where the strain is totally drug resistant to all 12 first line antibiotics. So we are staring at a catastrophe. But it's not just that. The new drugs have almost dried up. There is a new drug called bedelacquine that has come out, and it has been so strictly monitored that you have to get High Court's permission in order to give it. So under such circumstances, I don't see TB being eradicated, certainly not by 2025, but I'm giving it 15 to 20 years.
In addition to being a renowned scientist, you have also authored several books. And we are curious about your upcoming book titled The India's Forgotten Scientists. Would you like to share some insights from the book?
Yes, so it's been a project that has been with us. So it's going to be co-authored with me and Sheetal Ranganathan. And the genesis started in 2017 when we looked at our list that was, looking back, quite expanded. So we had about 10 or 15 scientists that we thought we ourselves have not valued and honored them. Forget about the world doing that. And then from that list slowly, because it's come down to 4 or 5. And I'll tell you the reason why. Because in order for the story to be more appealing, not just to the audience, readers, but to us. So one of the things that I insist upon is that I write for my own pleasure. and same when it is co-authored. As Barthes, one of the most prominent French writers, said that the birth of the reader is the death of the writer. The moment you start thinking about your readership, your audience, what they would like or dislike, whether I would write according to their likes and all, you're dead. Then don't write. Then you become a pamphleteer. So one of the things that we wanted to do was to actually think of the environment that the country was, India, either before independence or after that, at the time when those scientists made groundbreaking discoveries, where they were, what was the nature of, for example, their institutes, their labs, how much money did they have, what were their connections, how much of suffering of the country that was feeling. So in that sense, because many of the scientists, their eras, they overlapped, we had to remove a few, and we've kept a very narrowed down list of 4 or 5 scientists now, and with extensive research, each one of them is taking about 40, 50, 30, 40,000 words that would understandably would have to be culled by the editor. So by December, we would have the first draft ready.
Okay, we will look forward to it, sir. Yeah. You're one of the few scientists who never hesitate to express their views in the media, which makes you very popular, particularly among young students. So how did this transformation happen?
I think this transformation was I wouldn't call it transformation, this facet of my personality, for the lack of better word, not trying to self-aggrandize, was always there. And it comes from few things. One, free speech is very dear to me. I'm a free speech absolutist, so I must say what I have to say. But many people, even though they are free speech absolutists, they end up not saying, they end up accepting other person's right to free speech, but they don't exercise it themselves. I started to do it ever since I realized the insignificance of us as a living species. I don't value my life that much, to be honest with you. Life was purely a product of chance that we are here. We are here today, gone tomorrow. I absolutely feel that. We are totally without, life is without purpose, without meaning. We are totally inconsequential, meaningless. If you truly imbibe that, then an element of fear that normally exists also goes out of the window. So coupled are these two reasons because of which you can say I have this personality.
Yeah. In your opinion, what should be the role of politics, science and media in the development of a country?
It's absolutely profoundly important. But as I say, do not mix politics with science, because then all you will end up with is political science. But I think both of them are very important. Scientists must be aware of the politics, and unfortunately this is not the case, but politicians are not aware of the needs of the scientists, the needs of the nation as far as science is concerned. They simply use science for their ends, which is sometimes, that's the nature of the beast, but most times it's wrong. Because science tells you to be objective, science is always truthful, science is always reproducible. Science might be wrong, science gives you an element of self-doubt that you're not absolutely right all the time. And science bestows on you, this is most important, conscience, a code of morality and ethics that is based upon the principles of science and of Darwinian evolution. Many people believe that Darwin's theory actually means survival of the fittest. In addition to that, what it also raises, that the theory of evolution endows as much on the human kindness, benevolence, cognitive abilities than anything else. So human kindness mixed with survival of the fittest and competition is what Darwinian theory is. People just take one half of it. That is where most of the world's troubles begin.
We wish to know your views on how India can lead the world in science.
Yes, I think India must lead the world in science, but as I've said during my lecture, I truly believe India is an integrated member of the world. We must not believe in leading the world in science, we must walk together. We must take all the decisions that need to be taken for the betterment of the world, because we must realize that in the betterment of the world is the betterment of India. We are not dissociated from it. We have experienced and used the fruits of the labor of 9% of scientists and other people around the world who've helped us. So why should we feel that we will do good by othering them, or by saying that we are exclusivist and India must no, I think, and science knows no boundaries at all. So I think India's position should be as a leader that is walking along with a lot of leaders, that is helping people constantly, and that is taking science forward by talking and taking people together.
Okay. Lastly, do you wish to give a message to ISRO Bhopal students and faculty?
It's not for me to give a message, to be honest. In fact, ISRO Bhopal has given me a message that such an amazing place can exist in India. So I'm absolutely, as I said, so impressed by not just the buildings, the infrastructure, the cleanliness, the way you're going about it, but by the students, the sharpness of their students, by the energy, enthusiasm. So I have no one to give lessons to it, but I would say you're absolutely bang on. You're doing the right things. You have the right energy, and it's not me trying to be didactic or trying to say, be patronizing, please channelize it. I can see how you're channelizing it rightly also.
Yeah. Thank you. We were very glad to have you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So kind. Thank you.